Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to the GRSB for giving us the opportunity to come and share with you today a bit about the work we're doing in Europe. I apologise for those of you who came to my presentation yesterday. There'll be lots of similarity, but as they say in education, the 3 R's, reinforce, reinforce, or repeat, repeat, repeat. So that's what we'll do. I'm going to start off with a different approach, and that just to declare our non-roundtable status in Europe. And we aren't a round table, but it's great, and we have this expression in English that there's more than one way to skin a cat. And we thank the GRSB for engaging with us and allowing us to be part of this process, because we've been doing this inside Platform for several years now. We started in 2002, and we feel a lot to share, but we also recognise we don't have all the answers. So we've got to work through that. We're not a multi-stakeholder platform, though we have ways of engaging the multi-stakeholder approach. Many of our members, being food companies, many of our members are major food companies and have the way of engaging with their stakeholders anyway. So we do the work inside Platform, and then they take it out and engage as their message. And they say, well, this isn't just us doing this. This is a multi-industry approach. And remember one thing about Side Platform, if you were there yesterday, I said it, but we only focus inside the farm gate. We don't do the whole value chain. We're about sustainable agricultural practices at farm level. We do want to engage with others, and we're very open about that. Now, we've got many members of the Side Platform Working Group here today. Guys, I'm going to make you put your hands up as well, because can put your hands up now. Come on, I'll get Cameron onto you. These are the guys who are the brains behind this. I'm not the brains, I just facilitate the process. I think the only reason I got the job here is because I'm the most attractive of us all. But this is what we do. We've got over 60 food company members, and we try and collaborate, and we bring messages from our different walks of life into the table, and we work pre-competitively and collaboratively on sustainability issues. And that is so fundamentally important. I do believe, as you guys experience here, the value of collaboration. 2 heads are always better than 1, guaranteed. There's the members of the Beef Working Group, and as I said, many members are here today. Go and talk to those guys about the work we do and how we do this work. Yes, we're not a round table, but we're able to work in this mix, and it works well. It's a safe place for food companies to come and sit down at a table in a pre-competitive environment to share their knowledge and learn together. We're the newest group inside Platform. We developed in 2013 our principles of sustainable beef farming, and this was the basis of which we provided feedback into the criteria development for the GRSB. And we've looked at these, and we're looking at these again, as I'll explain in a minute, in relation to make sure we are aligned. One of the things that I work in many food sectors, one of the challenges we have is inconsistent messages from the food sector globally. The one way we can get those consistent messages is by working together and collaborating and getting aligned in what we're trying to achieve. The things we encompass, it won't be any surprise to you, and I don't have a pointer on here, but if we start at the top, we have a sustainable farming systems chapter, economic sustainability, social sustainability, and environmental sustainability. So we cover the whole spectrum in our principles. And what we find is we've got different working groups, commodity working groups inside Platform. We've got coffee, we've got arable, we've got vegetables, we've got dairy, we've got beef. These are consistent through them all, because the principles of sustainable farming run through all of agriculture. What we then have is what's called practices that go alongside that end up allowing the specificity for the different commodity sectors. So what we're working on at the moment in Europe with our members, and Europe may not be a big place compared to Brazil, but actually we've got many different countries involved, and we've got great diversity in cultural and production systems. We still have that diversity we've got to deal with, and it's one of the challenges that's exciting to work with each other on when we come to the table. But one of the challenges we found inside Platform, and it basically came from our arable crops group, was that many of these companies were sourcing agricultural products and wanting certain criteria on these from a sustainability perspective. But they all had different ways of achieving that or asking the questions. And from the farmer's perspective, and think about it if you're a mixed farm, not a pure beef farm or a dairy farm, but if you're a mixed farm, you had someone coming up your drive regularly to see if you were okay. So what the Side Platform companies wanted to do was say, look, is there a way we can align here? Because when you look at all the different certification or sourcing schemes, 80% of those tend to be the same, even more in some cases, tend to be the same criteria. So how can we actually get aligned on this to try and reduce the need for more people going up, more people going up the drive. It takes cost out of the supply chain, which is great. Makes people more happy because they don't have to answer more tick boxes all the time. So is there a way we can do that? So what we've developed inside Platform, and it started with the crops group, and now we're doing this for beef. We're taking our principles and practices and building a program that allows us to take this onto the farm and make it meaningful. What we've developed using ITC, a United Nations body, is we've developed what's called the Benchmark Standards Map. And what we do is once we've developed our farm sustainability assessment module inside Platform, we enter it into this sustainability maps, the standards map. And it allows you to then look at the differences in your schemes, but actually the important thing that the ITC tool allows you to do is to benchmark. You can take your own company scheme and benchmark it against other schemes that are out there. In fact, we found over 130 and we're adding more all the time. Some are publicly available, some organisations have given us permission to put it on there. So the Beef Working Group has gone and got all the schemes they know of and put them on here. And you can freely access this. And you can go on and you can either use the Farm Sustainability Assessment tool that we've developed for your own use, or you can take your own scheme and see how it aligns with any of these others here that you may want to benchmark against. What you can then get out of the website is a comparative analysis in a pictorial form to show where the differences are. Certain schemes will have more strengths in certain areas than others, and you may want to strengthen your scheme in certain areas, but you can actually map out where the differences are. And what we want to do is try and help the sourcing of agricultural commodities to be more consistent and get that alignment and mutual recognition going forward. So this is an example of what the basic Farm Sustainability Assessment tool looks like in the spreadsheet. It's got your question there, your criteria, and at this stage, yes, it's only questions that give a yes or a no answer. We're starting that journey. We are already starting to look at how we can move this into more outcome measurements, but we don't want to scare people off at the first go. Let's start that journey. Let's get people thinking about this and get the alignment right. You can also add a scoring level in there if you wanted to do that. You can get a gold, silver or bronze score depending on what you particularly want in your supply chain. So there's 3 different types of questions as well. There's the essential questions, which I call the no-brainers, the things that should be in there about slave labour, things like that should be in every scheme. Then you have your basic questions, which cover off the agricultural criteria and the sustainable agricultural criteria. And the advanced questions are more about guiding. Where are we going in the future? You may want to answer them and assess them now, but actually different schemes may not require that, but it's a hint at where we might need to go in the future, and it's up to the side platform farm sustainability groups to actually provide that guidance and say we need to add this in and do regular reviews. This is a dynamic process. To get your bronze, you need 100% of the essential, 75% of the minimum basic. This is for the arable crops. Silver, 100% of both basic and essential, then just up to 75% of advanced, and then for your gold, you need 75% minimum of your advanced questions. So there's a way of actually putting power back into the farmer's hands and saying, I want to be positive here, I want to promote my products, what I'm producing. Here's an opportunity for me to self-assess and go forward to my customers and see how I can promote that. So in terms of timelines, we've launched our beef principles and practices last year, and what we're doing now is presenting or developing the farm sustainability assessment for the beef side of things. We hope to have the first draft done by January next year. Then we want to go into a consultation phase. As I said, it's predominantly European at this stage, but we'd love to have input from you guys. How far off are we making this global, but predominantly European because of the makeup of our group? And then we want to trial it on farm. This is about being meaningful for farmers. It's not just about box ticking and moving on. It's about making things that are meaningful for the supply chain to increase knowledge and the ability of the supply chain to demonstrate its sustainability criteria. And then what we want to do by Q3 next year is have this up and running. And the beauty of side platform developments, even though paid for by members, it's freely available on our website. All the developments we've done over the years have been made available for everyone, but we don't mind investing for that. So it's about moving sustainability on together.